You have exactly 100 milliseconds before the person in front of you decides if you're worth their time or completely irrelevant. Psychologists call this thin slicing. Most people lose this game before they even open their mouth because they don't realize that respect isn't a reward for hard work. It's a biological reaction to the signals you send. If you don't consciously control these, the world will subconsciously decide you don't matter. Today, I'm showing you how to flip that switch and force people to see you as an authority. I spent years wondering why some people get promoted, invited to the best parties, and listened to, while others, who are just as smart, remain invisible. Today, I'm breaking down the 7 silent triggers that flip the switch in people's minds from nobody to authority. We're going to start with how you occupy space, but stay tuned, because once you master your body, I'm going to show you how to use silence as a psychological advantage that can win any argument. 1. The presence expansion. Look at how most people enter a room. They look at their feet, they pull their phone out, and they try to occupy as little cubic space as possible. In biology, that's called submissive posturing. To change how people judge you, you need to practice expansion. It's not about acting like a tough guy. It's about micro gestures of ownership. When you sit, let your elbows drift away from your ribs. When you stand, keep your feet shoulder-width apart. This signals to the observer's brain that you are not under stress. Low stress equals high status. But owning your space is just the foundation. Once you've established your presence, you need to handle how you react to others, because being too fast to respond can actually make you look desperate. 2. The social mirror delay. Most people are too reactive. Someone smiles, they smile back instantly. Someone nods, they nod back. This makes you look like you're seeking approval. Instead, try the 1-second delay. When someone greets you or smiles, look them in the eye, wait 1 beat, and then respond. This tiny delay suggests that you are evaluating them rather than hoping they like you. It's a subtle power shift that forces the other person to wonder, what is this person thinking? Suddenly, you're the one who needs to be impressed. But reacting slowly is only half the battle. You also have to control the involuntary movements that betray your nerves when the pressure starts to rise. 3. Strategic stillness. Anxiety is high frequency. Respect is low frequency. Nervous people are constantly moving, tapping fingers, adjusting their watch, or shifting their weight. This micro-fidgeting tells everyone that you aren't comfortable in your own skin. The signal that changes everything is total stillness. When you speak, or when you listen, keep your body as still as a statue. Only move when it's intentional. Stillness suggests that you have nothing to hide and nothing to fear. It's the hallmark of a person who is comfortable with power. Now, being still makes you look powerful while standing, but what happens when you're on the move? Most people destroy their authority the moment they start walking, and here's how to avoid that. 4. The horizon gaze. Where you look determines how people value you. Most people look down or at their phones when they walk through a crowd. This makes you look vulnerable, someone who is trying to avoid conflict. Instead, keep your eyes on the horizon line. Even in a busy office or a crowded street, look through the crowd, not at them. This signals preeminence. It shows you have a destination and a purpose. People will literally move out of your way because their brain registers you as someone on a mission. However, looking like a leader is one thing, but if you start nodding like a fanboy the moment someone speaks to you, that authority vanishes instantly. 5. The selective nod. We are taught to nod to show we're listening. But if you nod too much, you look like a bobblehead begging for validation. To gain instant respect, stop nodding for everything. Listen with a neutral, calm face. Only nod when the other person says something you truly agree with or find valuable. This makes your nod a rare currency. When you finally do give that sign of approval, it carries 10 times more weight because it wasn't given away for free. But even if you master your nods, there is one tiny facial reflex that can still give away your insecurity, and almost nobody knows they're doing it. 6. The controlled blink rate. This is a deep psychological thin slice. Research shows that people who blink rapidly are perceived as more stressed and less trustworthy. When you're under pressure, like in a job interview or a tough conversation, the brain speeds up your blink rate. To counter this, consciously slow it down. A calm, steady gaze suggests a calm, steady mind. It's a silent signal that says, I am not intimidated by this situation. If you can hold a steady gaze while everyone else is blinking in panic, you've already won. But there is one final move, the ultimate move, that takes all these signals and turns them into pure social dominance. 7. The power silence. This is the most powerful tool in the human arsenal. Most people feel a desperate need to fill every awkward silence with words. They ramble, they joke, they apologize for the quiet. Don't do that. If you ask someone a question and they give you a weak answer, don't follow up. Just keep looking at them. Stay silent. The pressure of that silence will force them to keep talking, often revealing the truth or conceding to your point. Silence is a vacuum that people will struggle to fill. By being the one who is comfortable with the quiet, you become the most dominant person in any conversation. Here's the reality. You can't fake this forever. These signals only work because they eventually reflect a shift in your internal state. When you start acting like someone who deserves respect, you eventually start believing it yourself. And when you believe it, the rest of the world has no choice but to follow suit. I want you to try this. Pick one of these 7 signals, just one. Use it for the next 24 hours. Maybe it's the horizon gaze on your way to work, or the 1-second delay in your next meeting. Watch how people's faces change. Watch how they treat you differently. If you want to master the art of human influence and stop being invisible, join this community by hitting subscribe. I'm here to help you become the person everyone notices, but nobody dares to ignore. See you in the next one.